here with Aalyah Duncan of Philly Culture United. She is the founder of Philly Culture United, which is a grassroots advocacy initiative, which has been very important in the city of Philadelphia, particularly within the past couple of years. Aalyah, welcome to PhillyCAM Voices.
Hi, thank you.
I'm really excited to talk to you because advocacy is very important during this time, supporting the local arts community, entertainment community. Philadelphia has such a rich cultural history, but within the past couple years, there's been some struggle. There's been some struggle as far as the funds that have been available. Can you talk to us about how Philly Culture United came to be?
Yes, I'm very organic. My background is as a publicist in the music industry, and during the pandemic, everything was at a standstill.
Mhm.
I read the Inquirer, and one day, and this was May 2020, where our mayor proposed to basically defund the Philadelphia Culture Fund.
Zero
So
whole dollars. I remember
zero.
that. Zero whole dollars.
And I was deeply bothered by that because I
Mhm.
did not understand the significance of defunding the cultural fund, divesting funds. And what a lot of people don't realize is the Philadelphia Culture Fund helps to provide grants and resources to BIPOC arts organizations, creatives, and artists in the community. So a lot of those type of entities depend on the Philadelphia Culture Fund so they can continue to do their art
Right.
or support their businesses within the community for which they serve. So if you take those assets and resources away, how are these organizations, these creatives are able to continue doing the work that they do for the community? City Council, they review all the budgets that are proposed by the mayor. And by June of each calendar year, they review the budget and then they vote on the budget. And
Mm.
so we knew that we had a very short window to be able to provide an advocacy campaign so that everybody can contact and communicate with their local elected leaders to let them know, like, hey, we cannot allow this to happen. And you guys can't approve this budget of $0.
Right.
So that's where pretty much the energy came from. And I'm, thrilled to say that we had amazing promotional partners at the time, as well as everyone who wanted to be a part of that campaign. And it did help, I would say,
Mm.
because everybody was
Mhm.
home.
Yeah. Yeah. And they had
So,
time to pay attention to it. Right. Right.
they had a lot of time to pay attention. And so, like I said, it was very organic, but we were one of the first to put visibility on this issue.
Mhm.
And that just kind of started the domino effect of the media, the local media wanting to cover and get involved in what was happening. We did a social media video campaign, which was
Mhm.
successful, and then we had like amazing artists who were able to share their name and spread the word as well. So
Mhm.
we had like DJ Jazzy Duff, we had Patty LaBelle who was
Mhm.
tweeting and putting things on social media. We had Aloe Black, we had Kevin Eubanks, Deanna Williams, and just so many heavy hitters who consider Philadelphia their home and
Mhm.
were very appalled by what was happening with our city government. So, like I said, it definitely takes a village,
Mhm.
and more work continues, and we're still working on some advocacy because we received the proposed budget again from the mayor, which is publicly known as to what's going to
Yes.
happen by 2023. So, yeah, the work continues.
And that budget is not necessarily $0.
No.
However,
Right.
from what I understanding, the general consensus is that it's still not where it needs to be. Can you be just a little bit more specific so we can understand what organizations are affected by the Culture Fund?
Yeah, think of all the disciplines that are part of the creative ecosystem. So whether it is a dance troupe
Mhm.
to a um, visual arts organization to
Mhm.
those who are doing education, to
Mhm.
those who
Mhm.
are doing supplying food and resources to the community, as well as to those who are doing progressive work and innovative work with the youth. Those are the type of
Mhm.
organizations that benefit from this type of resources.
Great.
So, you take, even if you divest, $1 million, which is proposed for this coming fiscal year,
Mm.
that's $1 million less for the arts organizations that operate under that budget and those grassroots initiatives that rely on that funding.
Mm.
You only going to have a
Right.
small amount of people that are going to be able to apply and have access to that.
Yeah,
So
that's not enough. Mm.
that's not enough. And then when you look at other cities around our
Mhm.
nation that understand the importance of investing in arts, not just arts, but just understanding the creative economy of their city
Right,
and how
right.
it is important to incorporate that in their ecosystem. And it's just appalling that Philadelphia
Mm.
still does not understand that
Mm.
importance.
Great. Why you mentioned those other cities and the amount of dollars. I've seen those numbers as well in comparison to what Philadelphia gets. It seems that Philadelphia's arts community, entertainment community is well respected throughout the world. Why do you think it's not appreciated at home within our own government? Why do you think there's just some blinders there? They just think there's other priorities. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I think part of that is depending on who is the mayor and the administration surrounding that mayor.
Hmm. Yeah.
So if our cultural community of artists, entertainment, nonprofit, etc., is not part of their agenda, then that sector is not going to be a priority. It's going to be overlooked.
Mm.
And you think back on, let's see, when you think of back on one of our mayors, and I'm sorry, his name escapes me right now. He ended up becoming governor. One of his initiatives when he was mayor, especially transitioning the Avenue of the Arts. That's why we have the Avenue of the Arts.
Mm.
Because that was part of his initiative. He understand the importance of, investing in hospitality and incorporating
Hmm.
hospitality with arts. So that's how the tourism really started to become big. And I am a Kappa alumni, so I
Okay. Okay.
benefited from having this great, big, huge school of an institution that it was, which was
Hmm.
found at that time. And here we are on the Avenue of the Arts. And, you have all this cultural richness on that strip of Broad Street. But if you kind of remember too, like one of when Oprah was doing her shows in Philadelphia,
Hmm.
her tagline was, Philadelphia, the city that loves you back. That was all part of the huge campaign that was
Mm.
needed to vitalize Philadelphia tourism, the hospitality industry, and the arts industry. So
Mm.
it takes that type of leadership, that type of guts, if you may,
Mm.
to understand that importance. But if you have a leader that is not invested in that,
Mhm.
or quite frankly doesn't care, then you're going to see the things that we have been seeing um, for the past 2 going on 3 years now. And
Yeah.
this is not something, and I also want to make sure that it's understood that the pandemic put the spotlight on it, but decisions were also being made to divest in the sector prior to. So
Right.
definitely say the second term of the mayor was starting to showcase his, I don't know, his feelings, I should say, um,
Uh,
about the arts, culture, and creative sector.
I'm hoping that there's some sort of revelation, on the behalf of our government and politicians. What would you like to see happen? What is ideal? What be your ideal thing as far as advocacy, where you can see something happen and go, that was the goal
Um, in regards to the advocacy with our city government, or in
with our
regards to, go ahead.
with our city government specifically? Yes.
Well, I mean, we have this recovery funding from the CARES Act, right?
Mhm,
From
mhm.
from our federal government. So it would be amazing if instead of getting like 1% or less than that, at least, I mean, 20 million is not, I mean, that's still low, but 20 million. I know that our work with GPCA, that was what we were advocating for last fall. Fortunately, it didn't manifest, but those kind of things. And really invest in BIPOC, LGBTQ, and grassroots arts organizations who are doing
Mm.
the work.